Hi, ladies. It's Johnny here from ManSpeak. Monday night, 8:30. Tonight, of course, tonight is interview with a man, and my guest tonight is Silvestro Musumeci. Now, just background behind Silvestro is actually a motivational speaker, but also with Silvestro, and why I've chosen Silvestro to talk tonight is he's come from a background of losing half of his body weight, so around 75 kilos. And like I said last night in the preview, that came down to a cost with his marriage breaking up, also in relationships as well. So what I'm really curious about talking with Silvestro tonight is just the mindset, and I suppose from a man's mind, what he was actually thinking at the time when he was married, being overweight, and a different mindset he's had after that, and what he was thinking in between that side of it. So, firstly, I'd just like to welcome Silvestro. Thanks for hopping on.
Thanks for having me, John.
No worries. Now, also, too, ladies, like I've said previously with the ManSpeak interview, with the man that can ask questions during the interview. If I don't get to the question during the interview, I'll definitely be asking Silvestro the questions towards the end. But again, just kind of respect Silvestro's space, because we're going to talk about more insights, and he's probably going to show his vulnerability during this. Again, I suppose the first question for you, Silvestro, is when you were overweight and your mindset towards a relationship, what were you thinking at the time with relationships, and what was your perception of relationships?
Well, when I was overweight, that was probably 14 years ago. So when I was overweight, I was never able to get into a relationship. So when I met my wife that time, she was pretty well my first true relationship. So I was just happy to be in a relationship or to be with someone, because my weight in my eyes, my weight got in my way to be in a relationship.
Yeah. Your marriage, you had no, I suppose, like you said, you had no experience of relationship.
No, not really. No. So for me, it was all new.
Yeah. So during that time, okay, so you've got married. So when you got married, did you feel you were in it 100%?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So okay, so then we're going down the weight loss journey, and at what stage during that weight loss journey did you feel like your mindset was changing?
Well, my mind pretty well changed completely probably towards the end of my weight loss. So during my weight loss, my mind was focused on losing the weight, which I encouraged my wife to come along the journey, and she was supportive at that time. And you're not the same person that you were 5 years ago, or 2 years ago, or 1 year ago, or 6 months ago. You do change as a person. Your outlook view is different. And I think for me, my mind started changing when I lost all the weight, because I started to get confidence. I started to be a lot more in touch with my inner self, my affection. So, and the world was different, because I saw the world at a different place. Because when I was overweight, I was inside, I was a very angry person, and probably angry at myself more than anyone else. So as I was losing the weight, I tended to relax. I was more open-minded. I wasn't blaming other people because I was overweight. I was a bit more fun person to be around. And unfortunately, not my hobbies, but the way I looked at my relationship and what I expected from my relationship changed as I was losing my weight, because I wasn't that person than I was at the beginning of the marriage or of the relationship. So
Yeah.
I think what probably really happened during my relationship and at that time where probably why it broke down is there wasn't enough communication
Yeah.
in regards about as I was changing my ways. And we thought that we could handle the scenario together. But in
Yeah.
hindsight, I've got probably a professional to come along to help us.
When did you feel, when you said the communication side of it, this is a little bit curious. When did you feel the communication was breaking down? Because obviously you both started talking about it. When did it started to kind of, when you feel like you were talking but you weren't being heard, or do you feel like it was the other way around?
Now, I don't think I was being heard in the sense of what I had to say. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it was like I was trying to talk about it. I was trying to give my opinion, my angle, and it was just shut down altogether. So I wasn't allowed to be vulnerable. Wasn't allowed to be open. I wasn't allowed to be myself. And a man, we're vulnerable. I mean, I know
Yeah.
that perception. You're the man. You're not supposed to have feelings. You're supposed to be a robot. You're supposed to, if you show affection as a sign of weakness or emotions. But that's so untrue because we're all the same. But I think it also comes down to even the culture or the upbringing between two people.
Yeah. What was the defining moment of the marriage ending?
Oh, that's. I'm just trying to go back because that's probably going back. We're going back 12, 13 years ago. So I think at the end it was a joint decision because we weren't really sailing in the same direction. Our hobbies, our interests, our communication was gone. I was sleeping downstairs in the lounge room for about 3 or 4 months. That's a very strong indicator that marriage was already way out. So, and I think when it all happened, it wasn't such a big shock.
Yeah.
And we just knew I think it was more a convenience that the last 3 or 4 months that she was in the house, I was in the house, and at the end of the day, we had to make a decision because if we weren't able to be in a relationship, then we're both better off being in a relationship that we want to be in.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks for sharing that, by the way, that insight from that moment. So,
I mean,
moving forward, so now, yeah, you're going back a lot of times, just trying to just have those feelings back again. Now, okay, so now we're moving forward. The marriage has ended, and now all of a sudden you're this single person. You're the fittest you've ever been. You're 75 kilos, a little bit lower. What was your mindset when looking for a new relationship? And how long were you single for between the marriage ending and the start of the new one?
I was probably for about 12 months.
Yeah.
Was for a fat guy, which I was for all my life, I wasn't really used to compliments or girls would ever look at me. So when a girl was looking at me or was interested in me, I didn't really know how to read it because of the experiences I had before. So that's why I needed at least 12 months to really understand about myself and trying to understand what a woman, was she for real or was she just playing with me? I don't know because I never got that attention before. So
Yeah.
about 12 months. And for me, it was like, probably my second real relationship. So as a different
Yeah.
person altogether, I was still working myself out.
Yeah. And so then when you got into your first relationship, what happened? What was different this time compared to, when when you were married? What was some of the feelings that you had different, and what did you learn during that 12 months of being single?
In that 12 months of being single I was probably trying to catch up to myself. Because even though I lost the weight and I had this new body, my mind really haven't had a chance to catch up. And being in such a long-term relationship for 13, 14 years, well, that was the only woman um, I really knew.
Yeah.
So I had to start all over again. I mean, I myself, I really had to start all over again. I'm still who I
Yeah.
am, but I really
Yeah.
had to, yeah.
Start all over again. So what did you? Okay, so again forward. Then when did the second marriage start? How long were you like over like with your weight loss? How many years were you like with your current weight? Did the second marriage start?
That was only a very brief one when I was living overseas. So that was probably for about 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Um, that would have been probably 5 years.
Yeah.
That was about 5 years different um, from from the second marriage to first marriage, second marriage, as far as when I was divorced at 5 years.
Yeah.
So
And
that
what was,
around, yeah, that time.
and what was different about that? What were the indicators? What was the difference with the end of that one compared to the first one? What was the difference? Like you said, the first one ended because of communication. And you heard, were there similar traits when the second one ended?
No, not really. It was completely different altogether. It was a whole different scenario. It didn't come down to communication. It came down to um, she married me more for my documents, because at that time I was living overseas and that person wanted my documents so they could get more benefits. So basically, um, it wasn't that communication. Finding ulterior motive why she wanted to marry me, and that was because I had something I could offer, but it wasn't
Yeah.
person.
Yeah. So I suppose coming from an overweight, like you were overweight, was she giving you the right attention? Was that what was attracting you to her?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm very humble. How I've turned out up way tough, but I don't think it came down. Yeah, it was probably down to attention. Yeah, you're right. Actually, yeah, it's went down to attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and I
And
was living.
what was the difference between, no, you guys,
I was living overseas at the time, so I was probably really lonely also. So probably a
yeah.
lot more vulnerable as well. So yeah.
So what was the difference between the overweight Silvestro during the marriage and the 75 kilo Silvestro in the second marriage? What was something that you were craving more? What did you have different cravings during the relationship, or were they the same?
Um, Good question, actually. Um, I always crave for affection. So
Yeah.
um, affection to me is very important.
Yeah.
It could be, I mean, physical touch, being a hug or a kiss, or rub on the back. I think to me that's what I really crave for,
Yeah.
and that um, I didn't really get that in the second marriage. I probably didn't get that. Probably, I think it comes down to. I also believe it also comes down to a culture difference. Some people are used to being affectionate. Depends on their upbringing.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, I really enjoy that. I never got it from the second marriage, and that's what I look for now. I look for who's affectionate, as well as I can have, I can connect with and have
Yeah.
intelligent conversations as well.
Did you feel like when you when the marriage ended, did you feel like you communicated with her before it all ended, or do you feel like it wasn't you? Again, you weren't being heard like the first marriage.
No, it was pretty well communicated,
Yeah.
and I left and came back to Australia.
Yeah.
When I stayed there, so communication was very done and dusted, and was over.
So if you look back at those two marriages, what are the couple of key elements that you learned about yourself during those two?
Yeah, I've learned a lot. So I look at myself now as the best version that I've ever been, because with relationships or marriages that have gone wrong, you learn each time, and you know what you're looking for. You know what you don't want, and I think what I've learned over the decades and the relationships I've had is that communication is very, very important. You need to let the other person know exactly how you feel. You can't just assume that I want a hug. I mean, they can't assume that you want some affection. You can't assume anything whatsoever. So you got to talk about it, because all you're really doing is making up a story. Communication is good for me. That's one, is communication. I've learned that.
Where do
Also,
you think women let themselves down when it comes to things like that with communication, from your experience?
So what's the question?
Where do you think women let themselves down with the communication side of it, from your experience from your relationships?
I think communication breakdown is when they feel that it will fix itself.
Yeah.
That will come around in 3 it would just fix itself.
Yeah.
Sweep it under the carpet, go away. You need to deal with it, because if you don't deal with something, it will only get worse. It's harder to solve. And in between the time that you haven't really spoken about it, whatever the problem is, story changes, you become hateful, you get angry, and you don't tend to be kind. So what I'm trying to do now, what I want, what I feel is important, is that if you've had something, if you don't like something, or you have a different opinion, or something's not right, or you've had a slight argument, or whatever the case may be, my advice is that you and you talk about it before the end of the day, because you can resolve it. You can resolve heartbeat. You don't have to play games and you can make that person suffer, and they can suffer for a couple of days. No, you can end all the suffering. You can end all the anxiety. You can end all the guesswork. You can end all of that in a heartbeat. Talk about it. Move on. Resolve it. So the next day, it's a clear day. You don't have any, any leftovers, so to speak, that are hanging around that can cause problems in a relationship.
Okay, perfect. Thank you for sharing that. It's definitely insight. I hope that the ladies on the call, or whoever listens to it later on, takes it on board, which is great advice. Now I've got Jo here. She's asked 2 questions. I'll ask the first one. She said, "Was the wife overweight as well?" This is in the first marriage. She said, "Was the wife overweight as well? And also, did you meet as overweight?
Yeah, so my first marriage, I met my wife as I was overweight, so I was at my heaviest. Um,
Was
and
she overweight? Was your wife overweight as well?
no, I wouldn't say she was overweight. She was probably a size 14, which I consider is 12 to 14. So she met me overweight. I met her the way she was. The second marriage, she was probably my weight, or she was skinny basically. So she was probably a size 8. Um,
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. Thank you. Next question, Joe's asked is: would you get married a third time?
yes, I would. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's never been a question of commitment. I'm a person, I've got so much love to give, and I want to spend the rest of my life with someone who I can share it with. So the
Yeah.
question is definitely get married. I've just met someone, and luckily my brother Johnny put me onto a dating site and called Zook, and it's been going fantastic. It's been going really, really well. So yeah, marriage, absolutely.
Yeah. Perfect. Thank you. And I suppose what I'm curious about. So you're how old are you at the moment?
I'm 46.
46. Okay. So if a 46-year-old Silvestro could go back to say, you got married at 25, I believe it was 25. Yep. So if you could go back to Silvestro at 25, what would be some of the things that you would actually tell him? Knowing what you know now from your experience of women and relationships. Because you didn't know anything at that stage. That was like you said at the start of the call, you didn't know a relationship at that stage. That was your first one.
That's right. I mean, how I handled my very first relationship was probably based on my parents, how they communicated. So that was my role model, that helped me in my first relationship. And our parents must be doing something
Yep.
right because years. So, so I think when it comes down to, if I could go back and talk to the Silvestro at 25 now, it would be, yeah, obviously it would be about communication and just being yourself, being open. Try not to feel that you are pressured by society and saying that you're a man, you can't have feelings, you can't talk about yourself, you can't, that's a sort of weakness. So my thing is, don't listen to society, be yourself. If you've got something to say it, resolve it quickly. If you need help, get professional help that people can help you, and just don't assume.
Yeah. Do you feel like at that stage when you were 25, it was that men couldn't be as vulnerable or as open up as much as they can now? Do you think it was different then? Like it was different for men to open up, be vulnerable, and tell the woman how they felt?
Yeah, definitely. I think so. Going back 20 years, it was different for a guy to open up because, and also it depends on your upbringing. It depends with your partner as well, or who you're going to be dating, because they might not be used to that. They might not be open to that, so they've never been exposed to that. Maybe their father, their brother, their past relationships have been men who don't open up, so they don't know how to handle that. I think sometimes women might not know how to handle a guy if he's affectionate or he wants affection because they haven't really experienced that. So maybe you're with the wrong person because you can't really connect that way. You got to connect. If you can't connect, if you can't get something from a relationship and the other person gets something from you as a relationship, then you're on the wrong path. You got to make sure that you are with the right person, not just in attraction and physically attraction, but also
Yeah.
mind and with the heart. You got to be connected. If you're
Yeah.
not, then
What would be, that's interesting. So what would be an indicator, and this is from your past experience, what would be some indicators for you that it's not, you haven't got that connection? What would be some of the things that you'll be telling yourself when you're with that person, go, geez, this doesn't feel right because I'm not feeling this, or I'm not, something isn't right, gut feeling, or what would be some of the things that you'd be telling yourself?
yeah, good question, because I think there's three parts of your body that you must be aligned with, and that's your head, your heart, and your gut at the same time. And if it doesn't feel right, and if you can analyze this in the beginning, we're going to save yourself a lot of time, a lot of heartache, because you're not connected. If the other person responds to you, you can tell by a person's body language, and they've connected with you, that's fine. But I think that, I think it's very important that you need to make sure that all parts of your body do feel that you have a connection. It could be a smile, could be, see, the thing is, right, values are values. That could be respect, that could be communication, lots of things. They're very, very important. All values are very important as well. So as you get older, like back in the 20s and 30s, you play the game, you take your time because you got time on your side. But when you get older, when you get to like 30s or 40s, you don't have time to muck around. So you need to really communicate and be direct up front. Like you can uncover so many questions the first week that maybe when I was 25, that would have taken me 6 months to do.
Yeah. It's a good point you made that too, because I interviewed a gentleman about 4 weeks ago, and he said the same thing. You're a different person when you just see, along that timeline. So it's interesting, like you said, you're people that haven't got time to muck around. You're a bit more open. You've learned a bit more.
That's right, because it's not knowing what you know what you don't want. Once you know what you don't want, then everything else opens up that you do want. So if things do move a lot quicker than normal, it's okay, because you're just a lot more switched on, in touch with yourself after all the experience last 10, 20, 30 years in relationships. You just can pinpoint it and know what you want. And it's very important. If you do look at dating sites or meeting someone, you need to know exactly the type of person that you want to be with.
Yeah, exactly. And I think, like I said, with the dating websites, I think that you definitely got to be, if you're not being honest with yourself in your profile, you are going to be found out down the track. I think that's a good point that you've made there, with the online dating side of it.
Definitely. You need to be true to yourself, be honest, and you're right, Johnny, because if you say something in your profile and then you do meet someone and they're attracted to what you've written, and then you don't deliver the goods, then that's not really right. So you need to be, your profile does really help you pinpoint the person that you want to meet. And by doing that, someone quicker.
Yeah, and I think you summed up perfectly what you said before. As you were talking, you said about, core value, and you're going into when you're doing things like this, whether you meet someone online or organically, it's about just having that core value to start, because that's where the connection is going to come from.
That's right.
So
I look at core values as a tree. roots to a tree, foundation. They're a foundation for any relationship. You've got good values, good foundations. When it's a little bit rocky, things tend to work out. I look at hobbies. I might like motorsports. Your partner might like um, music that you don't like. So I think that decorations. I mean, you might not like my motor racing. I might not like someone's hobby, but I will still go and watch or be with that person because it's not about it's about the person.
Yeah. I think that's a good one to learn as well. You don't have to. Yeah. No, I think you're saying that well. You don't have to like the same things to be attracted to them. It all comes down to that core values. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. I mean, like decorations are the hobbies, but core values is the foundation that will keep a relationship together for a very long time.
Yeah. So probably just to sum up the call tonight, what's the one advice you can give to women on the ManSpeak group about men and where women could probably are misled with men, with social media, always being out there. What's some of the tips you could give women apart from the big one's being communication, which I think is also communication, and that's what ManSpeak's all about, improving communication between the men and women. And I think what's so fascinating about your journey, you could be married twice before, so you've been in that road twice before. Hopefully, the ladies tonight, would actually, see that the guy on our court tonight who's been through two marriages and he's lost marriage because of the feedback that he's had from the last two marriages. So, what's the biggest feedback apart from communication that you've learnt from the last two marriages?
I think that the second part that I've really learnt out of the two marriages, besides communication, I think is know that guys do have feelings, and to know that when they're hurting or when they do need that affection at that time. So guys do have feelings. Some guys find it hard to show feelings, but and which is terrible because if they keep it in themselves, then it becomes quite destructive. So signs of a guy who is seeking a bit of affection, who is seeking a bit of, when he is hurt inside, the signs are that he's, he does shut down. There is no communication. So I think every day, I think it's really good to spend 5 minutes with your partner. No phone, no TV. Sit at the table and just ask them, how was your day? How are you feeling? I think that we need to start to bring back that human connection. I know social media, people write messages, but 5 minutes of your time to your partner when they're finished work, sitting down and just asking them, how are you? And how are you feeling?
Right.
And how was your... No text and no...
Yeah, I love it. That's awesome. Yeah, that's a good one. I actually like that one. That's, I suppose, we are losing touch of ourselves these days with everything. Yeah, perfect.
Time that someone sat down with you face to face and asked you, generally, how are you and how you been, and it's bothering you.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. I hope the ladies hopefully get that something out of that, and the rest of the course. So again,
bring back the romance. It's out there.
Yeah. do you class yourself as a very romantic person?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I love being romantic. I love treating a woman that means open or closing doors. I love being old school. And love that joy of being with a woman.
Yeah, perfect. Good. It's good to see. It's good to. I do appreciate you opening up about everything tonight. It's good. It's good that you. It's good that women actually out because I feel, just on a page sometimes that we do feel like the guys aren't out there like that, but there are guys out like that, and it comes down to men that go with core values and being on the
That's right.
same wavelength. So, yeah.
If you're single, with no kids, or single with half dozen kids, it doesn't matter, because everyone's different and everyone's seeking different types of relationships. So don't cut yourself out, or don't think you're not good enough because maybe you have you've gone through 2 or 3 marriages and you've got 3 or 4 kids. That doesn't really make a difference. There's someone out there for everyone. So don't lose hope. Just make sure that you upfront communicate it. And if a guy wants to know more about you, he will definitely chase you. And let the guys do the chase else go away.
Yeah. Yeah, I've always said that to the ladies on the page. Perfect.
Yeah.
Thanks, Silvestro. Again, I hope. What was that? Sorry.
Thank you for having me on your show.
No worries. Thanks, Sylv. Again, ladies. Just be aware that if you do have any questions around what Silvestro has spoken about tonight, and you're not on the call live, like I've said every week, just comment below any questions that you have. If you feel uncomfortable with that, just private message me, and I can definitely still talk to Silvestro outside the call. Any questions that you do have but again, I do appreciate Silvestro coming on the call tonight, and again, I appreciate all the ladies who have come on the call tonight. And from Johnny ManSpeak and Silvestro Musumeci, it's a good night. Thanks, ladies. Bye.